Hey York Alliance, thanks for tuning in to this really important video update. As most of you are well aware, the COVID numbers in our county and in our region and within the state of Pennsylvania as a whole continue to go up to alarming rates. As we move into the Thanksgiving weekend, the governor has asked for a variety of different restrictions and mandates to try to help to stop the spread of COVID. And while the church is technically, at least in our weekend gatherings, exempt from those restrictions, the elders and staff and I have made the really difficult decision to move our worship gatherings online to live stream gatherings from now, starting this weekend, through the end of 2020, through the weekend of January 3rd, and then we'll begin to reevaluate for the weekend of January 9th and 10th in the hopes that we would be able to gather back together at that point. As we do that, the student ministries, children's ministries, college young adult ministries will continue to meet right now as they are. Those are smaller groups, and we're able to create safe ways for them to be able to gather. And our community groups continue to gather as well. And so I want to encourage you, if you're not in a community group, this is a great time to jump in. There's information on the letter that is attached for you to be able to put your name in to be a part of a community group during the season and in an ongoing way. I know that for some of you, this is not just expected, but maybe even welcomed. I've talked to many of you who have been concerned even over the last several weeks as we've gathered together. And I know there's others of you who are really frustrated and bothered by a decision like this. And it's part of the challenge of this season. We are in different places and we're wrestling with this in different ways. I do want to tell you the three primary reasons why we made this decision. The first one is certainly the safety and welfare, not just of our own community, but of the community surrounding us, our friends and our families. We recognize that as we gather, there's a higher potential for spread, and that as that virus spreads, it will get to the most vulnerable among us that we are connected to. And so we want to eliminate that as best we can. Secondly, we have prioritized from the beginning both a willing submission to the governing authorities that are over us to follow as best we can the mandates, even when they aren't binding on us as the church, and particularly the sense of how the decisions that we're making are impacting the community around us. We believe that it's really important for us to prioritize love of neighbor over love of self. And so in this instance, this is just a practical way that we can love the community around us and care for them. Finally, the third reason is that the challenge of 2020 has been, in so many ways, the uncertainty that's in front of us. It seems that from the beginning of March on, everything's uncertain and we're just not sure what's next. And so we felt that making a decision that would last through the end of the year would eliminate the uncertainty of the week to week, what we do, whether we should, whether we shouldn't, and allow us to be able to focus in on the Advent season, on the community of God around us, and on the world that God has called us into. And so those are our reasons. I know you may have lots of questions, so can I encourage you, send an email, questions@yorkalliance.org, and I would love to be able to respond, or any of those who your questions are directed towards would be able to respond to those. Let me just give you three admonitions in light of this announcement. The first one is this: would you consider pressing in during this season? As we journey through the Advent season, there's a great opportunity for us to intentionally love the world around us. And that doesn't change with the fact that we're not gathered together over the weekends. And so press in. There are daily podcasts that come out each day, Monday through Friday, to focus our hearts in a devotional way. We have together through this season been praying the daily office and praying together even while we're scattered. And our community groups are still places that you can connect and plug in and be connected during this season. So press in. Secondly, can I encourage you to look out? We have the message of hope that the world needs, and the world around us feels at least as heavily as you do the weight of all that's happening. And so let's be people of joy and peace as we go out into the world around us. You may want to revisit the series that we looked at earlier this fall that is talking about proclaiming the kingdom. There's a study guide on our website that you can go back and look at once again. And I'd encourage you to check that out. If you didn't do it before, do it now. If you already did, maybe re-engage that. Maybe this is an opportunity for a neighbor or a coworker to come and join you as you watch the live stream. You could likely do that in a safe way, and we would love for you to be able to do that as well. Look out beyond simply us. This is, again, a practical way that we can love the community around us. And finally, can I encourage you to be thankful? There is so much that we can still be thankful for in this season. It's a disorienting season, and it's been a challenging journey. But God has been faithful in the midst of it. Be thankful for several weeks of being able to gather together and reconnect before we move into this next season. Be thankful for the fact that we can continue to stay connected through technology, something that generations before us would never have been able to do. Be thankful for the fact that the church is much bigger than a weekend gathering, and we're able to stay connected with one another, encourage one another, and journey together. And most of all, be thankful during this season as we remember the first coming of Jesus and look toward the second coming of Jesus, that we are a people that have hope. In the midst of everything, we're a people that have hope. Let me just remind you, the church is more than a weekend celebration gathering. The church has always been about an engaged people who are sent out into the world. That doesn't change. Christmas and Advent isn't canceled. Church isn't canceled. Jesus will never be canceled. This is the opportunity that we have to press in. And so can I encourage you to do that? Again, as you have questions, please direct them to me. Please don't be silent, but let's have conversation as we journey through this. And as difficult as it is to say once again, I will see you on camera and on a screen this weekend as we gather together around the county. May the grace and peace of Jesus be with you through the Thanksgiving season and continue with you as we journey through Advent together.